Alright everybody, I'm going to be talking about the Mustang 1, a very, very cool practice amp, and actually not a bad gigging amp if you're going to go out and mic it up and you have a foot switch for it. You can do a lot with this amp, and I'm just going to run over a few different sounds out of it that are my favorite. The first one is a 59 Bassman. It's just a clean tone. I've got the gain way down and the volume way up, so no distortion really at all, and a little bit of reverb, and I've got the master volume on about 2 or 3. So check this out really quick. So that's your standard clean tone with a little bit of reverb, and I had a little bit of delay actually on there also. The next one is a Deluxe 57, and I like this one a lot. It's a little bit brighter, I think, than the Bassman is, but still, you get a really cool sound out of this. You get a nice clean tone. Once again, I've got the gain way, way down. I've got the volume pretty much wide open, and the master's on about 3 again. And it's got a little bit of reverb and a slight chorus to it, so check this out. As you can tell, that's a very Fender-ish, clean kind of tone to that. The next one, this is a really cool sound. It's a British 60s amp. I guess it's an emulation of a Marshall. I've got this set up with reverb and delay on it, and it's kind of like my stadium hard rock sound. The gain is all the way up at 10. The volume's up at about 5 o'clock or so, and it's got a slight phase, I think, to it. So anyway, check this out. This is pretty cool. This next one, I'm using the same kind of Marshall emulation, but I've taken out some of that top end and kind of given it that more 60s vibe to it. So I think Hendrik sounds really cool with this emulation. The gain's not as high up, it's around 6 or 7, and the volume's around 5 or so, and the master is around 3 once again. So check it out. The next thing I'm going to show you is a really cool kind of 50s vibrato, I guess is what you would call it. Kind of surf style music. It's got reverb and it's got the slight vibrato on it. And it's a Bassman model. Check it out. Alright, for this next one I'm using the British 80s model, and this has the gain around 5 and the volume around 5 and the master around 3 or 4. This next one is the Metal 2000 amp, and it's got the gain at about 5 or 6, and the volume's all the way up, and the master's around 3. This last one I'm going to show you is an American 90s amp, and it's got the gain cranked all the way up, and the master is at about 3, and the volume's all the way up at 10. And you can get some really cool solo sounds out of this if you add reverb, delay, or a little bit of chorus to it, whatever. You know, play around with this amp. That's the key to making good sounds out of it. The factory presets are okay, but you really need to tweak and mess around with this amp, and you can get a lot of cool things out of it. So anyway, this is the American 90s amp and a little bit of white stripe, so check it out. Alright everybody, thanks for watching, and leave a comment, and good or bad, I don't care, either way. But these amps are pretty cheap. They're great practice amps, like I said. You can get away with gigging with it. Solid states aren't my favorite. You know, I definitely prefer a tube amp any day of the week, but a lot of the models on this amp are really close to the real thing. You just have to tweak it. So anyway, have a good one. Thanks for watching.